Hello, this is Christina Gonzalez, and this is the rebuttal video for the Green New Deal pro position. The first thing I'm going to look at here is the economy and expenses. Per the National Climate Assessment, no action towards cleaner energy will result in a 10% GDP loss by 2090. At this point, the Green New Deal is too vague to get a true estimate on costs. There are so many aspects of the Green New Deal, it is hard to project the impacts of so many moving parts. Factcheck.org explains this pretty well. It says that the Green New Deal in this stage costs nothing. It's a non-binding resolution that would require other legislation to carry out its goals. Even if passed by both House and Senate, it would not have the force of law. Lawmakers would have to propose other legislation to act on any of the broad goals in the resolution. That legislation would include specific policy proposals, which the CBO would score as it would any other bill, and that would indicate the impact on the federal budget. All in all, there's just not enough detail to run scared about the price just yet. What is really evident is the cost of not doing anything about global warming. The fear of increase in taxes is pretty short-sighted. Taxes in some cases, especially to those who don't pay any taxes, should be increased and could help foot some of the potentially large bill. People also fear job loss in these respective industries, but don't see the potential of federal job potential. They make pretty good money in the fracking, oil, gas business now that they don't want to make that change to the renewable sources because they're making that money now. Why would they want to change? But in the end, we're all going to pay for the continued use of this type of energy. Speaking of energy, solar and wind tech. There's been a major decrease in the cost of solar and wind power, making it a realistic goal for many people to afford their own energy supply in their homes. Wind capacity has doubled over the past 10 years and is expected to double again by 2030. So wind turbine use is on the rise. And solar power is growing at an even faster rate. So the idea of having solar panels in the layperson's home is not a far-fetched idea. Advancing technology is allowing all of this to happen, and continued efforts and focused funding will grow these technologies exponentially. Like the lithium-ion cells discussed in my opponent's video. Other technologies are developing to overcome the time constraint of these battery cells. I believe there's a time constraint of 4 hours. People are figuring out ways to bypass that while technology is catching up. One energy company in Switzerland uses surplus electricity from wind turbines to stack large bricks into towers with automated cranes. Then they recapture the kinetic energy when the bricks fall back to the ground. And another company stores energy as heat in molten salt, or they pump water into reservoirs for later use as hydropower. There are ways to work around the technology that doesn't exist just yet. But if we direct funding and focus our efforts and cooperate, we can push that technology to its full potential. Another topic of energy use is the clean energy produced by nuclear means. The major concern about this type of energy is the risk to our environment. Construction of new nuclear reactors isn't happening. Not the nuclear reactors that we think of, and it's pretty much stopped within the past century. But building the smaller reactors, which are less expensive and they produce less radioactive waste, it's definitely a better alternative, but however, it doesn't eliminate all risk. The safety and environmental disasters are the greatest concern. How nuclear energy is currently run, continuing these risks cannot be acceptable. The movement we're making in trying to minimize the radioactive waste is a great effort, and it's a great alternative at this point. But Focusing on more renewable and cleaner energy could completely eliminate that kind of risk. All right. The goals, it seemed, are pretty unrealistic. There was a lot of stuff encapsulated in this Green New Deal. It encompasses not just energy, it's focusing on the economy and healthcare, but we tend to focus on the climate change portion of the Green New Deal, which gives 10 years to get us to 100% renewable energy. And this is the only way that the experts have determined that we can stop the climate change, that it's going to get to the point where it's unfixable. The 10 years to switch to the 100% renewable energy may seem impossible, but what feels more impossible is getting everyone to agree on how to get there. The goals may seem unrealistic, but it was unrealistic to expect to rely on fossil fuels forever. As an example, California has been progressive in utilizing renewable energies so much that its total solar energy usage went from 1% to 19% in 10 years. With dropping solar expenses, which cost about 80% less than it used to, it's going to continue to increase. But cooperation is key. We all have to do our part. Pollution reduction, responsible energy usage, and supporting legislative measures through voting representatives that will support these initiatives is absolutely necessary. We have to fix the destruction caused by the irresponsible usage of carbon-based energy. We broke it. We have to fix it. If not, we guarantee no future for our children's children. We don't have another planet. There's nothing else. There's no other alternative on standby. We have to fix this planet.